Outsider. Whampoa Garden, a carnival of chrome and neon, rife with every manner of technology and artifice one can imagine. The entire area has the feel of a night market, save that chips are sold in lieu of steamed buns, and vendors hawk the latest drones rather than folk art. Something stalks these streets, hiding just out of sight. It stalks the Whampoan elders, the leaders of a band of tech-savvy squatters that have claimed this neighborhood as their own. The streets smell of ozone and fear, and those Whampoans you pass in the MTR station have a haunted, furtive look in their eye. While the killer has struck only at the elders thus far, it may only be a matter of time before ordinary residents are menaced as well. We don't really need to give stuff to anyone. Let's just give Govert some. It's nice that she puts them back into the stash if she didn't use them. I'm probably not going to need these though. The streets of Whampoa Garden are slick with rain, glittering under the neon glow of myriad signs and holographic displays. The sky reflects the same glow, painting the white apartment blocks the sickly orange of sodium streetlights. The smell of grilling meats mingles with other rarer scents, ozone, engine oil, and high-tech fabrication facilities. Despite the hour, there are plenty of people out and about. You can hear the calls of street vendors and touts urging people into their stores. Isabel wrinkles her nose, scowling darkly. She wraps her arms tightly around her chest, staring off into the distance. Is there a word for feeling nostalgic for a place you can't wait to leave again? I didn't miss the place, but I miss the feelings I had when I lived here. Saudade, maybe? I don't know what saudade means. Isabel shakes her head. No, that's not it. It's close, but she lets the sentence trail off into nothingness, clamping her mouth shut for a moment. Isabel sighs heavily. This place seemed like heaven after the walled city, like the whole world had unfurled in front of me, and anywhere I turned there was the promise of a good life. Turned out this place was just as scrappy as everywhere else. Everyone was still in it for themselves. Gobert claps a hand on Isabel's shoulder, who flinches and pulls away. That's a great life lesson, Liz. I'm serious. At the end of the day, life's a raw deal. You've got yourself and a handful of friends, and that's it. Nothing else. Duncan casts a sidelong glance at Isabel and Gobert, shaking his head. You got some strange ideas about life, sure. Life's a meat grinder, but come on, there's gotta be more to life than just surviving. Does there? What makes you the authority on that? Isabel waves a dismissive hand. I'm done talking about this. Anyway. She turns towards you and points down the street to your left. We're looking for the Whampoan elders. They're gonna be in the Whampoa itself. That's the big ship down the street. I've seen the pictures. It looks like a yacht. She nods, lips pursed. That's the one. Kinda hard to miss. And it's been a fixture since late last century. These days it's just a squat. Shop's a family affair. Not corporate ones. Okay, is there anything I should know about the Whampoans? They're all tech heads, thinkers, and self-taught scientists. Despite the fact that there's no formal education system, everyone here is pretty smart. They apprentice kids to skilled workers so they can learn a trade. Elder Gao taught me decking, and I left after she got brain fried trying to crack a Mitsuhama network. Elder Ip got me to shoot. You should still be here. Come on, let's go see what they have to say for themselves. Okay. So I technically want to go there, but I kind of... I heard he's not just dead, he's been all cut up. Yeah, I want to go here, but I do want to go to other places first, see if there's anything to look at. It's not dangerous. Looks like there's nothing else to look at. Okay. So wait, I just go on the ship? Can't even do anything outside of it? Elden. I want to see this again though. It's a shame. Let me quick save just in case. Nothing here. Nothing anywhere. I need to talk to anyone but this guy, I guess. Okay, hello Elder. What's up? This orc woman is festooned with small circuits, tiny thread screens, and speakers. The thread screens display snippets of thread broadcasts from every corner of the world. The tiny speakers play counterpoint with a susurrus of voices speaking Sperefio, Punjabi, Kazakh, and other languages. Her expression is haggard, and she fidgets with her fingers as you approach. Welcome. Welcome to the Wampoa, my friend. I am Elden. And these are Elders Tang and Ip. Oh yeah, and one of them got Isabel to shoot. He gestures to the elf and human, who each incline their heads respectfully. Thank you so much for answering our requests for help. We had nowhere else to turn. Well, it's the least I could do. When the Tang's skin, glowing tattoos rife and change shape, tigers become cranes, and move on to dragons, we're under threat. One by one, we elders are being hunted by some monster. As you may have noticed when you arrived, there's been another killing just tonight. Ip crosses his solid chrome arms. Holographic readouts dance constantly over the surface, displaying diagnostic information about their state, operating temperature, server pressure, and a variety of other miniature. He looks past you towards Isabel. The prodigal daughter returned once more. I didn't expect to see you back aboard the Wampoa in my lifetime, Isabel. When you disappeared, Elder Yetund was very put out. I'm glad you're still safe, alive. When you chose to walk your own path, I was disappointed, but I so understood why you had to leave. He pauses, tasting the air as he chooses his next word with care. I hope my lessons have helped you prosper. Didn't expect to be back either. Work takes you places though. She shrugs. A moment later, she places a hand on her pistol, eyes strained on the Ip's shoes. I didn't cart this around for fun, Ip. The lessons kept me alive. She blinks several times and then looks up at her expression clouded. Where is Yetund anyway? I expected her to be here. Shakes her head sadly. She reaches out a hand towards Isabel, who shrinks away from it. She's dead. So are Gan and Nakamura, and Tong was killed just tonight. So much blood. You have to stop this from continuing. Her expression remains impassive, but her knuckles grow white as her hands ball up into fists. That's what we are here for. We'll stop the killings. Thank you, Isabel. The elder lifts her hands, wiping away tears from her eyes. Hey, what can you tell me about the murders? They started 2 weeks ago. The first to go was Gan. We found him in his apartment, eviscerated. He swallows, grimacing at the painful memory. He'd been torn apart. His head had been ripped completely off, and most of his skin flayed away. There was so much blood it took us a week to clean out his apartment. Ang nods, running his palm over his forehead. The rest have been the same. Always at night. Always dismembered. Each scene is like a nightmare. And every time nobody has seen anything, it's like a ghost. What happened to Tong? Same thing happened. That happened to the rest of the victims. Evisceration and dismemberment. We sent a guard to keep people out of his shop, but he'll let you in. When did he die? Sometime early tonight. He locked up his shop, but Ip stopped by to ask him about some skill chips he had. The door was unlocked, and aside, he lifts her hands helplessly. She opens her mouth, but no words come out. Seeing her inability to continue, Ip takes over. Inside looked like the bad horror sim, just like all the other murders. They had to have happened after sundown, because I saw his shop was open when I was on my way to get some noodles for dinner. Why didn't you call the police? The Hong Kong police force isn't welcome here. They've tried to force us out several times before, or come hunting for someone to pin a crime on. We do a lot of favors for local gangs and triads, handle their matrix security, fix up their gear, and make sure they have access to the Hong Kong Shadowlands hub. We're too valuable a resource for them to lose, so they protect us when the HKPF or anyone else decides we're an easy target. They handle our physical security, and we make sure to send the message via the matrix. Last time the HKPF made trouble, we started airing the assistant chief's dirty laundry over the tread. They got a picture and backed off. Okay, have you made any enemies lately? He shrugs. Not that I can think of. We keep to ourselves. We buy and sell technology. We're not mercenaries and criminals. We're merchants and deckers. And even if someone was cheated in a deal, this kind of response is unthinkable. Whatever did this, it wasn't human. The violence and savagery, it's a monster, whatever it is. Plenty of metahumans are monsters too, no? Just because it's horrible doesn't mean it's supernatural. Okay, what do the elders do? Zivol snorts derisively. They make the rules and kick people out who don't obey them. A bunch of petty tyrants, that's what. You're being unfair, Isabel. Our laws are for the good of the community. Hang turns to address you. We keep the Whampoa and its residents safe. We review trade agreements with outsiders to see if they're good for the community. We provide a guiding vision, like a town council. I guess I can respect that. I'm glad you understand. This community is fragile, and the authorities bear us a lot of ill will. A single misstep could spell our end. I'm the invoker of spirits. I commune with the spirits of machines, ask them for blessings, and pass those blessings on to the people here. I heal the sick and ensure the feng shui of our habitats is as good as it can be, given our confines. She's a shaman, that's all. She's just got some cookie spin on it. Claims her totem is some kind of all-encompassing machine god that lives in circuitry. Isabel pats her deck, looking at me. Ancient gods and ancestors are one thing. My deck, it's mine. I built it. The only spirits it's got in it are the ESPs I loaded it up with. She gives Isabel a look of deep sadness. Just because you cannot see or touch a thing does not mean that it does not exist. Just because you do not believe in it does not mean it does not protect you from afar. I can't touch programs either, but at least I can prove they have an effect on the physical world. Your superstitions are just that, bullshit. Isabel glances at you, jerking a thumb towards Tang. This guy treats drones like they're living things. Is that right? Tang extends his arms, palms up, as you watch. The tattoos therein shift into a complex mathematical formula. I am the first and glorious servo. I study patterns, repair machinery, and teach others how to attune themselves to the wonders of automation. The blessed Autofab is my shop and purview, where we make the drones we use and sell. As for me, I serve as the resplendent voltage spike. Ip smiles crookedly. That means I shoot people who try to screw with us. It's a fancy title for a head of security. Okay, I guess that's all. It might be wise to ask the residents of Whampoa Garden if they've seen or heard anything after you've gone to Tong's Sensory Carnival. They may have seen or heard things we have not. Maybe I should have taken a drone guy instead of Duncan. Search for the killer. Well, hello, are you the killer? Can I go here? Oh, I can talk to anyone. I can go inside here. Let's go around a little bit first. I have a lot of armor, right? 8 armor, that's pretty nice. And I can get +2. Yeah, I'm mortal. Not really, but I have a lot of armor. I'm still probably gonna buy a better armor if I can. If I can get something that has 8. If I can get something that has 8, I'm not gonna need to cast the armor. Porter Lamb, at your service. The elders told me that you'd be coming. They tell you about what happened to Tong? Just the basics. Well, nothing's basic about this. I've seen people shot, stabbed, beaten to death. Hell, I've even seen a corpse that was so dry and desiccated I could have sworn a vampire did it. None of that's got anything on this. Brace yourself and go on in. Okay. That's a lot of blood. Tong's sensory carnival looks like a scene out of a B-grade slasher film, Sim. A cloying scent of incense hangs thick and pungent in the air, emanating from the small shrine in the corner of the shop. Unfortunately, it does nothing to cover up the reek of death and clotted blood. Despite the ragged remnants of Elder Tong littering the floor, the rest of the shop appears to be in good order, at least at first glance. Nothing is broken, tipped over, or otherwise ransacked. That probably means that the person who did this, Tong actually probably trusted them, and he knew them. Because there would have been a fight. As you're about to step further into the room, you glance at the ceiling and walls. The blood from Tong's body isn't just confined to where his remains lie. Drying blood is spread about the walls and ceiling as well. Okay, let's look at the body. I'll probably have to be smart or have some medical data to be able to do stuff. It kinda sucks. Tong's body is a ruined mess. The destroyed ruin of his face is barely recognizable, and what is left of his body would be best described as savaged. All of his limbs have been torn off, and a pile of flayed skin lies next to the remnants of a one-born elder. His clothing has all but been reduced to rags and tissue by cuts and tears, apparently sustained during the flaying. At this point, the only thing holding what's left of his body into a semblance of human form is the hair-thin fiber optics of his cyberware. Gobert puts a hand over her mouth, speaking in an uncharacteristically serious tone. Sweet heaven. I haven't seen anything like that since Auntie Wong tried to stash some cred sticks in a devil rat's nest. It takes a lot to turn my stomach, but we sure have a winner today. This is seriously messed up. Oh hey, I can do some astral perception, that's nice. I'll second that. This isn't a murder, this is more like, I don't know, a feeding frenzy. If it weren't for the skin, I'd say Tong stepped on a goddamn mine or something. Yeah, let's use astral perception. Taking a deep breath, you allow your senses to expand into the astral space. The colors of the room bleed away, replaced with the vibrant lights and emotion of the spirit world. Surprisingly, no emotions of fear or anger pervade the room. The abiding emotion the room is stepped in is one of the perfunctory satisfaction, as if someone had accomplished an important task. It would seem likely that Tong was surprised. If he was not, it would be certain that you would feel lingering fear within the room. Whoa, really? Gobert takes a moment to center herself and stares off into space. Shortly thereafter, she shakes her head and looks back to you. That's strange, Fisk. You're right, though. You definitely didn't see it coming. Yeah, we don't have enough biotech to learn stuff. Bloody wall. The walls are covered in splattered and smeared blood, most of which has hardened into a crusty, congealed paste. Thick tracks of it run laterally. It looks like the blood has been deliberately smeared. Hey Fist, I don't know a whole lot about science or all that, but I do know that blood looks like when it hits a wall. This is natural. Somebody deliberately smeared blood all over these walls. See how it looks like it's got paint trails? That's because somebody used Tong's parts like a brush. So they painted his walls with blood. Why? Do I look like a psychologist to you? Maybe because they're a freak. Maybe they're one of those sick serial killers that sees the murders as art. I got no clue. All I know is that normal blood looks like on what normal blood looks like on the wall, and this isn't it. Some people have a bad grasp of art. I knew this guy in Kwantong who used to make music out of stray radio static and panic button calls. Called it Crisis Wave. It was awful. Okay, what's behind here? Tong's bathroom is immaculate and the drains are tiny. Whatever killed him didn't exit through here. Tong's desk drawers are open and the safe that's built into one side has been opened. There's no sign of tampering and the green light next to the word unlocked is blinking. Whoever opened the safe did it with a key fob. Inside are several blank crit sticks, but no sign of any with money on them. Looks like someone looted his stash. A guy like this wouldn't keep only empty crit sticks in a safe. So someone did steal it. But probably to make it like a robbery focused crime maybe? But they did say it was everything here was immaculate. Simpsons editor. This is a Yamaha 95000V Simpson, a device for mixing and mastering Simpsons chips. Several drive bays are empty and all of the chip jacks are empty. The screen is flashing a repeated error message. Warning, requested files cannot be found. Please return drivers to bay and try again. So someone stole the drivers here. Let's have Isabel debug the Simpson. Debug it. Isabel rattles out some commands on the new Simpsons keyboard, stepping away after a few seconds with a look of satisfaction on her face. There. I've put the drive warning on suspend. It's in diagnostic mode only though, so maybe we'll learn something, maybe not. Yamaha SimOS 5.23 system diagnostic check. Memory OK, drive error. Assist, bus OK, beginning core dump, please wait. Isabel studies the screen in details as letters and numbers scroll by. Looks like Tong was cooking some BTOs here. He's hacked the peak control output cutoffs. The delta levels on sim chips are usually about 4 to 5, 6.5 for Calhots. His delta peaks are pushing 12. That's brain burning territory, Fist. And all the drives and chips those BTOs were stored on are missing. I never liked Tong, but it wasn't because he was a bad guy. I just didn't like any of the elders. But if he was cooking chips at Delta 12, maybe he burned somebody he shouldn't have. Maybe they flipped their lid and came after him, or a relative did. Isabel gives you a serious look, tipping her head at the synth. Metahuman brain can't handle this kind of output. It'll shut down after a few of these. But I'm not smart enough to be able to see what's happening here. But that's okay. Hello, Porter. Hey there, need something else? Has anyone else been inside? Not since I've been here, but before Ip found him, could have been anybody really. Ip had a key to his place. The lock's total crack. Anybody half decent at cracking magic locks could have gotten inside. What's missing? His BTOs, hard drives and crit sticks are all missing. Sounds like the killer looted the place to me. All this talk of monsters, yeah sure, there are scary things that go bump in the night, but most of the scary bumps here I hear are from handguns and gangers. What do you do around here, Porter? It's a catch-all category, I guess. I work with Elder Ip. It's a bit like being a deputy. I make sure people don't break the rules, protect people who need protecting, mostly. I just do whatever Ip asks me to. It's a pretty quiet job most days. Today's not one of those days. I also handle a lot of maintenance. I don't actually do the repairs, but I've got most of the keys. It makes it easy to ensure only authorized people get into sensitive places. Electricity goes down, I'll let in the electrician who fixes the wiring. Toilet's clogged, I'll let the drone guy go up and who opens it up back up. Okay, see you later. Now I'm supposed to search for the killer. Oh, hello Zippy, what's up? Hello? This orc is busily snacking on a steamed bun. As you approach, he wipes off one of his hands and sticks it out towards you. Hey stranger, nice to see you. Zippy Toe Tag at your service. How are you liking One Power Garden? Aren't they supposed to be like kinda untrusty, not trusting of outsiders? I'm Fist, nice to meet you, Zippy. Nice to meet you too. Listen, I know it's a little forward of me to say hello and whatnot, but I'm interested in giving you a hand if I can. He gestures expansively at the squalid, neon-lit streets of Wampoa Garden. This is my home, at least for the time being, and I'd like to stop these killings. We've never met before this, but I know exactly who you are. You're my replacement. The elders had me an autopsy. Had me do an autopsy that was left to Elder Gun. Oh, okay. The elders had me autopsy what was left of Elder Gan and Elder Nakamura after they got ripped apart, but I didn't want to dig any deeper. So since I don't know you, and I can smell a Shadowrunner a mile away, you got to be the outsider that asked to stop the killing, right? Tilt says that back, obviously pleased at his amateur deduction. Yeah, that's right. See, good eyes. A lot of good eyes. Actually, if you're in the market for replacements. Only slightly used, and they only come from certified donors, I swear. A hearty belly laugh erupts from the orc, and he slaps one of his thighs. Man, I kill myself. Pretty funny. You a stand-up comedian? But just like that, are you kidding me? One of the only trained surgeons around here. I keep the other opponents healthy. Gotta practice down the road. Blind Shen's a pretty good cyber doc, but he's basically an implant specialist and that's it. How'd you end up here? I did my residency back in the UCAS. Would have been a real MD too, if things hadn't gone south for unrelated reasons. He opens his coat, revealing a cyber deck. He pats it proudly. I also deck a little, but I'm better at slicing skin than I see. One Power Garden seemed a good fit for me. You must have a lot of customers. That's the chip through. I have to cover my coats, costs and each, but it's damn near free service. There's always a waiting list, but it's good, honest work. I like helping my neighbors and the community. We all look out for each other. Somebody messes with one of us, they mess with all of us. A kind of community is rare as gold these days. How many places have an ethos like us? Not the darn corpse, that's for sure. I've lived a lot of places, done my fair share of shadowrunning. This place is special. It's been a long time since I really felt like anywhere was real home. Zippy looks off past you, towards the Wampoa Garden streets. His expression grows wistful, like he's remembering something from a long time ago. I'm sure I'll move again, but not for a while. I'm not done with the city or these people. Okay. So it is fairly peaceful around here. For the most part. Other than these killings, we don't have much by way of problems. We do information security for the Triads, and that makes us fairly impervious to anyone who wants to start trouble. Anyone starts something, we hit them in the Matrix, while our Triad friends hit them in the meat space. Some small-time gangs have tried pushing in here before, but they backed off when they figure out they weren't just picking a fight with Tang and his guys, but with both the Red Dragon and Yellow Lotus. They got the message real quick. That was left of them. What was left of them, anyway. Okay, something about the Wampoa Garden. Your thing. What do you want to know? What are your thoughts on the murders? There's a sharp intake of breath as Zippy shakes his head. Pretty gruesome business. Gun died from a broken neck. Looked like someone had wrenched it around, and his arms and legs were cut off. Some skin flayed away too. Nakamura had his throat ripped out by someone with pretty sharp teeth. At first I thought it was a devil rat, but the teeth marks were all from something with a humanoid jaw. I didn't look at tuned. From what I saw at distance, it was the same story. Didn't seem much point since I'd seen it twice already. Maybe there's a werewolf here. As for Tong, from what Porter told me, it was Gan and Nakamura all over again. Take a look at them yet? Yeah, it's more or less the same as you described for the others. Zippy shakes his head sadly. Damn, I like Tong. The BTO business is unsavory, but the man had to eat, and his regular sims were great. Generally, all around nice guy, friendly with everyone, never had anyone mad at him. There ain't no justice, let me tell you. Okay, what can you tell me about the elders? He laughs, shrugging. Well, they're an eclectic bunch, that's for sure. Where to start? Link is the spiritual leader here. She's the voice of the Wampoans, I guess. A lot of her close friends are really more followers, since she's something of a priest for the machine spirits. Maybe it's a cultural thing for people who grew up here, but it's never cool to me. So she makes a damn fine pot of tea. Ips the muscle. He has an encyclopedic knowledge of cyber and Bioware. Definitely a good guy to have watching your back. Not too friendly, but you know how it is. You get a lot of cyber, people start wondering if you'll tear their arms off. Zippy makes a chopping gesture with one hand. He's got moves straight out of Blood Carnival 3, The Reckoning. Terrible movie, but great fight choreography. And Tang? I don't know much about him, but I think he's got something of a fetish for automation. Found him culling over some trades of automated delivery drones in a warehouse once. He works with drones, has a shop called the Blessed Autofab. He was raving about the efficiency of the movement patterns or something. You already know about Tong, ran Sims, BTOs, skill chips. Gan used to be a city planner before he had a nervous breakdown and got involved in statistical analysis. Zippy pauses to collect his thoughts. Nakamura came from Fukuoka and was interested in entertainment. Read mostly. Spent a lot of time analyzing subliminals in ads. Then there was Magpie. He was the chief decker, hot as hell against IC, and built her own hardware. Salty old woman. Though, never met anyone who was quite as shrill or nasty when she was mad. She was mad most of the time. Oh, tell me more about her. Wait, nobody mentioned Magpie to me. When did she die? She didn't. Maybe a month ago, she just up and disappeared. I went to her shop one day and she just wasn't open. Nobody's seen her since. Kind of a pain in the ass too. She owed me some new analyze software she picked up. I've never heard of Magpie either. It must be one of the newer Wampoans. If she was the Decker, she would have replaced Elder Gao. No surprise there. Gao was older than Qin Shingwandi's Terracotta Warriors. When I was learning decking from him, he could barely get out of bed. So fast as hell in the Matrix though. How can you be new and be an elder? Isabel rolls her eyes. It's a stupid name. It doesn't actually have much to do with the time spent in the community. That was something to do with it, sure. That has something to do with it, sure, but it's mostly about how skilled you are, how good your connections are, and how much you can help everybody else. Should have called them experts or something. Bingo, that's exactly it. She was only here for about 3 years, but she knew how a lot of people all over the Matrix. In Shanghai and Beijing. All kinds of places. That plus her skills meant she was a shoo-in when Gao died. Why would she disappear? No idea. One day she was here, the next poof. At first I thought she was on vacation, since she had mentioned wanting to see the Kingdom of Hawaii someday, but it didn't feel right. She would have at least told me when she was leaving. It seems mighty suspicious to me. Nobody else seems to care what happened to her. Probably because she pissed them all off so bad. Is there any place you think I should start looking at? You might want to check out her shop. Still locked up, but the other elders have a spare key. Couldn't hurt to look around, and even though Magpie was always butting heads with the other elders, they wouldn't have any reason to let you in. Not to let you in. What do you mean they were butting heads? Magpie and the others never saw eye to eye. It was contrary for the sake of it. Most of the rest had a grand vision for what they wanted this neighborhood to become. Magpie just wanted to deck. He was only an elder because they needed someone with her Matrix chops. The last big argument was between her, Ip, and Nakamura. It was over something relatively trivial. I think Nakamura wanted to expand the pirate trade business into the Matrix, and she just absolutely refused. Why though? She said something about not using up valuable bandwidth for trivial entertainment bullshit. Anyway, It went from there into this rant about how she wasn't going to let Tang expand his drone business any further because it would get too much megacorp attention. They accused her of blocking them just because she could, which is probably true, lots of screaming. What do you mean blocking them? Everyone needs her matrix skills for the businesses to run properly. Other deckers, me, say, or Moj Neri, but she had the infrastructure. If the project didn't interest her, she wouldn't even give them the time of day. She's a real hardhead about having her time wasted, but she figures if she's not interested in something, it has no value objectively. Kind of a major blind spot if you ask me. Did you let me into her shop? Okay, do. Not because I don't want to, but because I don't have the key. You'd have to get it from Ip. He's taking over all the Matrix infrastructure maintenance since Magpie disappeared. He's not as good at it as she is, or as I am, but they're not going to let anyone who isn't an elder take care of that kind of critical stuff. Okay, bye bye, Zippy. Okay. I think this is going to be where we end the stream for today, so thank you very much for coming, for watching a little bit, a lot here live, maybe later as a VOD. Someone watches this, and we are gonna continue with Shadowrun Hong Kong tomorrow. Bye bye.